podcast by Ragin Roacher.
I'm James, Ragin Roacher. How are you, everybody? This is Dave Incognito, and he is Demon Christ. And we're gonna talk with him today for a bit and have a good chat. Uh, he's gonna tell us a lot about his upcoming album. It's being released on Ragebreed, the label, and we're gonna be there supporting him the whole way. It's a great album. We're really excited to be to have him on our label. We are. It's going to be an excellent album. Uh, so, well, let's get right with it. Dave, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What you're doing, where were your roots? Like, where'd you come from? Like, what got you into the business? How'd you become where you are today and become Demon Christ?
All right, so I started out at 13 years old,
Hmm.
very, very heavily into bands, um, like grunge bands, like really big into like grunge
Hmm.
bands.
Hmm.
My idol, and I mean, people are gonna freak about this, but my idol is Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, like, of course, I'm 47, so it's like, I was born in '78. I got into the grunge stuff, but within the grunge stuff, I started kind of slipping into the extreme stuff. Like my favorite black metal band is Mayhem,
Hmm. Yeah.
Celtic Frost, Emperor, like those kind of bands.
Right.
And then when I was 16 years old, I put my first project together, which I played bass and sang, and it was called Plague.
Yeah, okay.
So the easiest vocals that came to me was like the high black metal stuff,
Hmm.
like what Cronus from Venom was doing and stuff like that.
Right, right.
So I started getting into that, and then I started leaning more towards like I started the guttural thing like roughly about 16 years old. Cannibal
Okay.
Corpse, Obituary, Deicide. So very heavily into the Florida based
Hmm.
old school death metal with the groove and everything like that.
Right.
And then I started seeing bands like Internal Bleeding,
Hmm.
with mixing the groove with the death vocals and the hardcore and all that stuff. And that
Hmm.
kind of like set everything off. Then as I got older, I put a band together which became the cult classic death metal band Dying Eyes of Sloth. We were around for a lot of years.
Hmm.
Played a lot of shows. We opened for Cannibal Corpse, opened for Suicide Silence, stuff like that. And then when I lost a couple of members, me and my guitar player stayed together. And then I put I guess you would say a doom Southern rock project, which
Hmm.
became Incognito Theory. And I started singing clean and stuff like that, which I still do that project till this day. But what happened is we were doing our 10-year reunion for Sloth.
Right.
And I was like, I haven't done extreme vocals in a while. I
Hmm.
quit smoking cigarettes. I haven't had a cigarette in 9 years. And I was like, you know what? Something's telling me that, I really need to. I've always wanted to mix the black and death metal with the groove and, like all that stuff.
Right.
So my fiance, Chrissy, when I was working on the stuff for Sloth, she was like, babe, you know, this is I really believe that you should get back into this. He goes, I really, she heard a demo that I did, which was Brace for Nails, which was the first track that I did for Demon Christ.
Okay.
Uh, she's like, hon, she goes, you're like doing all this mixture of stuff and everything. I really think you should consider getting back into the extreme scene. And I was like, I really want to do that, but, trying to keep musicians together, it's been a bit hard and everything. But I was like, you know what? Let me see what I could do. And through all the lifing and all the bullshit that goes on with, we had COVID, we had all this crap. I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can put some things together. So I rounded up a couple of friends. They put these jams together. And then I sat home and like, I look at Demon Christ as my alter ego. Like
Okay.
it's like I weaponize it with voices in my head, and the lyrics just come. The way I write the lyrics is through the jams of the material that were written. So
Mhm.
whatever the material is portraying to me, that's how the lyrics come about.
Okay.
So that's how I went with a lot of these tracks for Demon Christ. But I've always wanted to get back into the more occult, extreme death, but I wanted to be more death with core elements because so many bands that do the blast beats and all that stuff. But I wanted to still intermix that stuff.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much how this whole thing today came to where it's at, and I'm real stoked. And I've already started working on stuff for the next EP, and it's crazy, man.
See that's awesome because that's the passion. That's something that you're enjoying it, and when you're enjoying it, that's when your creativity is at your best. Now, we were talking about, you said "Brace for Nails." That was one of the first songs. That was the first song you wrote for Demon Christ. Now, we talked about that, you and I personally, behind the scenes and stuff when we were talking about the
Yes,
release. And what that's a special song, and obviously it is because it's the first song.
yeah.
Where were you at when you were thinking this song? Where was it? What was the inspiration? What were you doing? What was going on in your mind at that song? Like that's inspired that.
I am very heavily into like Viking history
Yeah.
and horror, but on the realism of things, the religious side of things, I think that there's too much of the religion. I ended up reading the Lords of Chaos book,
Yeah.
and I really like, I mean, there's a lot of things in there that kind of stuck out but didn't stick out. And I was like, there's like too much of this banter. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna, let me put something together that's unique, but I still wanted to hit that old school, old cult feel and really bring something across to the table. So at that time, I was dealing with a lot of things, because I deal with PTSD and depression, and I was having a lot of issues with that,
Hmm.
and I look at this as an escape
Okay.
to I'm generally a really cool person, but I can tend to be a very angry person.
Yeah, I get that. I can understand that. I think we all are capable of that. It's just, we control it. But I mean, that's where I'm coming from. That's where I know you as you are, and I don't see like the alter ego comes out through Demon Christ, and that's where I'm
Yeah.
trying to get at. Where the thinking's coming from when I'm seeing two
Mm.
different people, like two different
But
sides.
pretty much the best way to put that is like, when I say, braced for the nails, you know, in the lyric, I specifically say, braced for the nails, suffer to all, the dying's dying, meaning our world
Mhm.
has been dealing with a lot of shit. Best way to put it. And, where my mindset was at is I was at a very dark and brooding place. Um, to the point of, you know, what's real, what's not real, fear and insecurities and and serious depression, and that's where I, at that moment in time I was like, I needed to unleash something.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much the meaning behind that song. Was That's more like, I don't want to say fantasy because it's
Okay.
really not. It's more along the lines of like, and I'm a Catholic, but the best way to put this is, fuck your religion, dude. I mean, like, really, dude. How
Mhm.
many more times are we going to hear about, what everybody thinks and what they feel? Everybody's allowed to have an opinion,
Yes.
right? And I was at that point where I was just like, I'm sick and tired of hearing this. I'm sick and tired of hearing that. So guess what? Now it's my time to be the Omega and
Mhm.
piss everybody off.
Yep. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I like it. I like it. That's what I like about the whole album. It's just, you're going at every issue, and it's all in different things, and it just the titles just fit in, and like bow before my throne, bow before the throne. How all right, what was
Bow before my throne. Yeah, yeah. That one, the best way to put it to you is ego.
hmm
You know, you know, know your role in life. You know what I mean? Like, hey, look, if you're going to come at me and you're going to, um, so to speak, challenge me,
right.
then come challenge me. But I promise you, when I write my check, I'm going to cash it for you. And you're either going to
Mhm.
like it or you're not. And if you don't like it, I don't give a shit.
Right, right.
That was pretty much the meaning behind that. Like, I was in that state of mind where it was like, hey, you know what? And, I'm sticking to everybody was like, oh, you're not doing this correctly. You're not doing this correctly. You could have done better. You could have done this, like, in life in general. And I'm like, you want to know something? Who the hell are you to tell me what I'm able to do and what I'm capable of? I've had so many people say that my lyrics and well, mainly my vocals were subpar and everything. And I was at a point where I was like, you know what? I'm subpar. There it is for you. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
sorry about that. That whole interruption was my dogs.
no, I
I
love dogs,
apologize.
man. You're good, dude.
No,
You're
I
good, man.
apologize. They came running out. I'm
Mhm.
in my kitchen today, not in my studio, so
No,
I
you're fine,
apologize.
brother. You are fine,
So,
dude. You are fine, dude. There's like a lot though. I mean, like all this stuff is raw,
right.
James.
Yeah.
Like I went
That's
very
what I
raw with
like.
all this.
I'm drawn to raw music, Dave. I really am. I'm drawn to the old. I like the old Venom. I like that rawness in music. I find that
Black metal
in
is
a
a
lot
great
of
record, man.
mhm. I find that in a lot of the German thrash, even of this day. It's a lot. Even the recording is a lot more. It's a lot more raw and easy going than It's like not easy going, but like it's just like they're doing it live right in front of you, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm drawn to when with a band.
That's gonna be the fun part about all this stuff. When I
Mhm.
start putting a couple shows behind things, like
Mhm.
I think this is gonna be great to see all this come to a I mean, like, right now I'm working on how we're going to bring it across to everybody. And my first attempt is obviously, the first video. And, I think the two songs that us together, me, you, and Karina picked
Mhm.
to kick everything off, I really think it really shows the contrast
Yes.
of my black metal side and my death metal side.
Yes.
So, but this whole record, man, that I put together is for Chrissy, man, from my wife. She's a survivor, man, and I wanted to since she told me to get back into this, I wanted to put something completely real together. Stalk the Dead. We're going to talk about that for a second. Stalk the Dead is very
Yes.
dear to my heart
Yes.
because it's for her and it's for every woman out there that has been bullied, sexually assaulted,
Yeah.
and that song is about a vigilante going and how can I put this to the best of my knowledge without sounding like I'm out of my mind? Um, Ambushing somebody and just
Ah,
taking them to a place to where they deserve to stay. Mm.
aha. Ah. Well, you're not then you're not any place that you're going to be judged insane because I can definitely
Mhm.
visualize that whole scenario with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In no
Now,
words to say. I I have
now,
I have a 20-year-old daughter. So
also, you understand that.
I know exactly what would
Mhm,
happen if something ever
mhm,
happened to her.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
and I have a 30-year-old, but she just got engaged, so I'm not so worried about her
Oh,
anymore.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's
But
so
now, Stalk the Dead
hmm
ties into Thorns of Sadistic Intent.
yes.
Thorns of Sadistic Intent is the ambush.
Yes,
Now, the
yes, yeah.
meaning behind Thorns of Sadistic Intent is where the art of fear comes to life, and you go
Mhm.
to the afterlife still in fear. And the
Yeah,
way you go in fear is you have surgical pins inserted in parts of your body where you become paralyzed, where you slowly leak out and leave the earth.
yes.
So both of those tracks tie very deeply in together. And I didn't mean for that to happen. It just Stalk the Dead got a lot out of me. And then when I started, there was some lyrics that I wrote for Stalk the Dead that never made it to the track. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, you know what? There's something else that needs to come out. And I was like, you know what? I guess I was in that state of mind, like Captain Howdy from Strangeland,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So, I mean, you've seen some of the visual for the video. So this is going to be, I think the story will be told. So both songs do tie in together. And, I feel bad for a lot of these women out there that are dealing with the trauma
Yeah.
of being abused and being, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I mean, and, me having, Chrissy as my future wife, and she's dealt with it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And she, she's a survivor and everything, and then you have to, I guess, walk the line of kit gloves and be very, and, very delicate and be understanding. And I mean, like, she was my muse for these two songs, and she's a wonderful girl, dude, and she's very supportive of what I'm doing, and she's excited for
Hmm.
this. And I just, but you can't just go out there, James, and go after somebody. You know what I mean? You got to do it
No,
through
no, no.
law and
Yeah,
all
I
that
know.
stuff. You got to go through court. You got to do it the correct way. You can't, just go out there and you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, but
So
by all means, people do not take this as we're condoning anyone to go out and do anything.
yeah.
We don't condone that at all.
Going and doing what I do with Demon Christ is like, the cool thing about extreme death metal is that you can be anything you want.
Yes.
They're lyrics. It's a figment of imagination, imagery. It's fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, you kind of, things that you would think of because you're angry and you can't do certain things.
Hmm.
You I put a lot of this stuff into the lyrics. Like with a lot of the lyrics for the record, I went into this state of mind of strength, empowerment, and takeover. That
Okay.
and vigilante. Like those are the four things: strength, empowerment, takeover, vigilante. And that's the whole meaning of this self-titled record.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
almost wasn't going to be a record, James. It was only going to be like an EP, but Stalk the Dead happened last minute. Thorns of Sadistic Intent was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
it just kind of they came together, and I was like, I'm like, you know what? I think I have a really sick concept going here, and I'm like, you know
Mhm.
what? Because I sat back and looked at all the lyrics for all the tracks. Like I mean, with let's see what else we can go into with you to make life easy on you. With the track
Oh,
Crush the
I got
Swarm.
plenty of questions, so don't worry.
So Crush the Swarm, that is pretty much a crush on political views.
Oh, yes, yeah,
There's too much
yeah, I see that in
political
their
shit
lyrics.
going
Yes,
on, dude. And
yeah.
that's why when I put that track together, it's like, it's all over the news. It's all over this, all over that. And I was like, you know what? Stop. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like everybody should be, let's work together. Let's stop, with the bullshit. You know what I
Well,
mean? So
that's it. That's it. You know, Dave, you're hitting the nail on the head. You're hitting what everyone's saying. Let's
mhm.
just stop the bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. And they're not.
No, that's the sad part, and it's not. It's getting worse. It is, and but
And
that's
I'm not a
yeah.
political view person.
I'm
I'm not
not
a
either.
political. I,
Not
I hate
either.
politics, man. Like I'm more
No.
like a everybody wants to talk politics. I'm like,
Dude,
even Undying Light. Undying Light was like the first longer song that
yeah.
I did, like, because Brace for Nails was like very short. I was very heavily into I'm very heavily into like Mortician and stuff
Hmm.
like that. We do like that. They're more like that gore crusty kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And I wanted to give an ode and a nod to Will and Roger when I put Brace for Nails together. So that's why that was very short of a song. It was only like a minute and something. But Undying Light, my cousin John, who's the drummer of Incognito Theory, he mixed that track and and many of them on this record. So I mean,
Mhm.
and he's not very heavily into the extreme metal stuff, but he did a really good job doing what he did, and you know it's not so polished, the production, but it is polished. And instead of me going out and grabbing like keyboard players and all this stuff, there's a lot of technology out there where you could put plugins and do whatever. And like there's something I wanted, some epic parts. I wanted things to sound very, you know, my new thing now, which as I told you before, is like I'm very heavily into like Immortal, Disfigurement, Ob Sulfur, um, Carnifex. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So it's like that all kind of played into all this when I put these recordings together. But I wanted to make a statement, and I wanted it to be a very dominant statement, and I think I did that.
You definitely did, and when you talked about, you brought up a good point, and I have to say this when I think of them because I forget or I have to write it down. But you brought up, I kept, with every song I kept listening to, I wanted more. You
Oh,
left
thank you.
everyone wanting more with every song because you cut them short. And I think that was very smart. I don't know if you did that intentionally. I would of course admit that you did if you did.
Yes, I did. Absolutely. If you want me to be honest with you, James, yes, I did. I guess you would, you know, how can I put this? I kind of wanted to. I don't want to say I'm a manipulator, but I kind of wanted to to
Exactly,
to
exactly.
lure
I
them
did.
into the
I
pit,
see that.
lure them into darkness, and be like, "Do me a favor, stand still."
Yes, exactly. And that's what it is. Yes, do me and yes, stand still. And that's what exactly what the album does. And I like that. And you get that
Thank
whole
you.
effect. But now your mother sucks. Where'd that one come from?
Oh, that's the intro for "Crush the Swarm." That's from The Exorcist. Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Oh, I'm sitting there. I don't remember seeing this song, and I'm like, but I know it's there. It's got to be there. I had to have listened to it, and it's that thing. Oh God.
It's just an intro. It's just an
Mhm.
intro, and it kind of tied in. I wanted to give that, like I said, because I'm not very heavily into the political. So I was like, I need something that's gonna make people want to listen to the track. And
Mhm.
I'm The Exorcist, the first movie that was my favorite, and I happened to be watching it on. I was watching it on Tubi one night, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, yeah, man, that sucks. I'm like, oh, dude, there it is from the beginning of the track.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's
Yeah, that's
perfect. Just
awesome.
like I did with Clown Behind the Mask and You Suffer as I Smile. I'm sure there's another intro in there. I don't know if you got it or not, but there's another intro, and it's the Joker talking. And he says, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know,
Yeah, I
I
like
won't
that
kill
part.
you." You know the one where he goes, "I won't kill you and you won't kill me because you're just too much fun." And I put that because the meaning behind that, um, there there is, without getting too deep, there's an ex of Chrissy's that just he really he was just not a wonderful person,
Hmm.
and he with manipulation and covert narcissism and everything, and when I put these tracks together, those two specific tracks with about the LGBTQ and everything, there was some things we found out without not getting too deep. And it was just like, you know what? How do you do this to somebody and make them feel that you love them and care about them, and you're really a cobra narcissist and you're a piece of shit? So guess what? You tried to out me. So I decided to out you out to the world through my music.
Mm-hmm.
And so now anybody that listens, same thing with the artwork, the album cover
Mm-hmm.
that was designed with the evil
It,
being
it,
and the dude on the ground having
it,
his, he's all beat up and everything like that. That all stemmed from that. Like that legitimately
okay.
stemmed from that.
That's
That was like
deep,
making a
man.
statement of like, I'm a firm believer, dude. Look, man, it's okay to fib. It's okay to, you know, everybody to save a little face for somebody you love and you care about. But if you outright lie and you outright don't give a shit, then you shouldn't be, you know, because you can literally, especially if a person's a trauma victim, you got to be real with that person. If you're not feeling something, you don't agree with something, fine, you're allowed to disagree,
Right.
but don't outright just try to per se, quote unquote, destroy their life for no apparent reason.
Right.
And I told, my Chrissy, I was like, babe, when she listened to these two tracks, she was just like, you're out of your fucking mind. I
Yeah,
said, you're
I could,
exactly
I could,
right.
I could probably see that when you first hear it, and you're like, and it comes from like out of nowhere.
Mhm. Which
Here.
line gave it away to you, James? Was it the line where did you, here, you know what? We're going to dive into that because I'm going to break it down for you. And you're
Oh,
going to go, wow. Okay, remember in the 80s and 90s when kids used to get swirlies in the toilet bowl? They used to turn you upside down and flush the toilet.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
You know the line in the song where I say, you suffer and I smile, um, strangled your neck, break your back for it's already injured, choking on your own shit and piss?
Uh,
That's giving a swirly in the toilet bowl.
yeah,
Okay.
swirly.
And then it goes into the line, silly bitch, Dixie for chicks. And then it goes into the next line, which is you suffer as I smile. You couldn't
Yep.
keep the, perfectly
Yeah, yeah.
wet.
Oh
All
man,
dry.
that
Yep.
that makes
So
a whole new thing for
does
me.
it
That's
make that
that's
does it make
absolutely
sense to you
excellent.
now? Does it make sense to you now?
Oh, it does. Oh, guys, this is awesome. This is awesome information to have when you're listening to this. When you
Dean is
listen to
gonna
this for
love
the first
listening
time,
back
the
to this.
album's amazing. You guys are gonna love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. And
This is great. I'm
and then
stoked.
I mean, look, you said you wanted raw and unfiltered. I'm going to give it to you.
Well, that's
I
exactly
will.
what I want. I don't want you to be filtered. I want you to be raw. This is this
Clown
is who
behind
you
the mask.
are. This is what we're gonna get. This is what we're gonna get when you're on stage. You're not gonna be up there.
Yeah, pretty much.
You
I'm
know.
still trying to decide. I mean, like we talked about this. Like, as you know, Mike
Mhm.
Osipper is going to be in the video for Thorns of Sadistic Intent, which I'm absolutely stoked, man. He's a very dear friend of mine. He was from Primeval, and now he's
Yep.
got Summon the Demons, which Summon the Demons is amazing. And he's a really great friend. And I was like, dude, this is great. He's going to do the inaugural show with me, which was super cool.
Hmm.
And then I got my dear friend Joe Diacqui from Pierced on drums,
Hmm.
doing drumming for the show. And then now I'm just waiting. It was supposed to be my dear friend Mike LaPont of Symphony X to play bass.
Okay.
Because he does all the bass for Incognito Theory. He's done bass for Demon Christ and everything like that. But I have a couple guys right now that I'm talking to, so we're gonna see. But it's gonna be a big surprise when we do this inaugural show, and to have him come in and help was like really really cool. But now with Clown Behind the Mask, here's where this ties into You Suffer as I Smile.
Okay.
Clown Behind the Mask, where I'm talking about dragging a person's face across the floor
Okay. Yep.
and I talk about eat my fist,
Yes.
clown behind the mask. The clown behind the mask is guess what? You put a facade on that you're this wonderful person,
Hmm.
and then when you stepped away, you removed your makeup, so to speak, and the
Hmm.
covering from who you truly are, and you hid behind your mother's skirt.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
So you
there's
see how it ties
people
in
like
with both
that.
of them?
Hmm.
Yes. Yes. So,
I've met him.
you know, at one point you're like, oh, I'm this wonderful person. Oh, I care. Whatever. But then the minute the person turns around their head, automatically this person is a different person. You know, believe me,
Right.
dude, when I sat down and I explained all my lyrics to my wife, she was like, huh? Okay.
Where's this coming from? Exactly.
She knew where it was coming from. And she's like, why did you do this? And I looked her in the face and I gave her a hug and I kissed her and I said, you don't fuck with my wife.
Hmm. Well, that's awesome. Then we know who the album's dedicated to. You said it already, and
Yes. Yes.
that's
Yeah. And
it's
where do you hear her stuff, dude? And I know this is my interview, but I'm going to tell you, dude, Chrissy Ince's stuff is killer.
okay. I
Killer.
have not had the pleasure of listening to it yet.
She's gonna be doing a song with me for Demon Christ.
Is she really? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So dude, I got 3 songs done already for the next
Okay. Three.
Monolith of Filth.
Okay.
Endure the Torment is the one she's going to be doing with me.
Uh-huh.
And then I have another track, which I'm not finished with it yet. But I have a feeling if all goes well, dude, it's going to be called Spineless.
I like that. I like that. I like that. That's actually a good title to a song.
Mhm. I
I
got the
like that.
title for the EP already for the next record, and I can put it out there to everybody. It's going to be called Crowned the King.
All right. Okay. Okay. So we won't get into that because that's a whole nother album. So we're gonna stick with the first album.
I'm gonna send them to you when they're done being mixed, so you can kind of have a heads up, bud.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. They won't go anywhere. I promise.
I know. I'm really excited to work with you, James. I think this is going to be awesome, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun. And honestly, we're gonna get you out there and you're gonna meet some people and fans are gonna have some fun with you. So
Yeah, of course.
they're gonna get to know you. They're gonna
Yeah.
get to love you. Just like we
I
do at
hope so.
Ragebreed.
Yeah.
So
I've been working with Karina. I worked with Karina. I've known her a decade. I don't know if she told you that. I know her
she-
about a decade. She's a wonderful person. She actually kicked the door open for my Doom Southern rock band, Incognito Theory.
okay.
She released our first record, which was Band of Brothers. And then, she started doing her thing. She was busy and all this stuff. And then when I started doing this,
Hmm.
of course, we always kept in contact and everything. And, I'm so proud of her. She's one of the hardest workers, woman wise, in the industry. And she really believes in her artists. And I was like, you know what do you say? Why don't we do this? And she's like, yeah. And then she talks very highly about you. And then when I met you and we started talking, I was like, the connection was there. And I was like, I think us 3 together can really push this.
We're gonna push it.
Yeah.
We don't really even have to push it. The music is the music speaks for itself. It really does. Dave, you hit it right on the head with this whole album. The music speaks for itself. It's
Yeah.
it's
Thank
it's
you.
it's an excellent album. Um, I mean,
Now let's just hope that like when I go to perform it live, because performing live is a little different than with recordings.
mm,
And I'm a firm believer of that. Okay, like look at like I really, dude, I really love. If you haven't heard Immortal Disfigurement, you gotta go listen to them.
okay.
His vocals live are very similar to the recordings, but they're not exact because doing that live, when you're in a recording studio, dude, you got to stack and then you have
Hmm.
effects and this and that. I'm a firm believer of being real and honest with people, but you still get the approach. It just the music needs to be spot on live.
Yeah.
If the music is spot on, the vocals can soar too. But you just need the correct entities to work with. And I think the guys that I'm working with, I'm pretty confident that this is gonna, and like I said, it's gonna be. I'm only gonna be doing sporadically stuff, but I'm gonna put out videos and do all this cool stuff. And I'm willing to do. I'll go and I'll do meet and greets. I'll do whatever needs to be done. You know what I mean? But
Sounds
I
good.
just want to put the best foot forward. At one point, I was going to wear corpse paint because
You were.
I used to wear corpse paint in Sloth. Demon Christ was my tag name in Sloth,
Okay.
and I decided to keep that moniker.
Okay.
And because it is my alter ego, and I was like, you know what, and then I was like, but if I put paint on, then I'm going cliche. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I was like, why don't I just, I'm just going to be myself and just go out there and let the music speak for itself.
I like it because you know what? You're doing exactly. See, I'm a pure thrash generation music guy. That's my favorite music. I'm very passionate about
Who's your
thrash.
favorite thrash band?
Yeah, I do. I like thrash. I'm huge. I'm a huge fan. I was in a thrash band for years, but not
Who's your
anymore.
favorite thrash band? Who's your
Huh?
favorite thrash band?
My
Who is your
favorite
favorite
thrash
thrash band?
band, right now it's either, well, out of the bigger ones, Exodus, of course, or
Of course, everybody's
Creator,
up.
or
Yeah. Oh, I love
Creator.
them.
One of those two.
What's your
Um,
take on the New Testament record? I love it.
I think it's an awesome album. It's a solid album. I think I see a lot of new stuff, and I get a lot of stuff in through my show and things, and
You know my two favorite
I
Testament
put
records are?
Testament about 10 in my top 25,
Okay.
and I put Coroner just above them because I love Coroner, but there's so
Okay.
many new albums out there. My favorite band probably right now is Warfield,
Oh, nice.
and
Let me get some
then
light
then
on in here so you can
then
see.
it's a plug out to one of my bands, Electrocutioner. I think they are a solid number two. They've worked hard.
Yeah.
They've done their duty. These guys have all. I mean, all the bands in this, my top 10 have done their duty, and that's why I did it. The
My
top
favorite
nine.
Two Testament bands,
Yeah.
records, excuse me. Practice What You Preach
Uh-huh.
and Demonic.
Yes. That.
The Gathering is the third, but
Mm,
my two favorite is Practice What You Preach and Demonic. I
yeah.
love that Chuck Billy mixes the vocals. He went from doing this clean stuff, and then he started doing the aggression. I
Yes.
really love what he was doing there. But my all-time favorite thrash band, and you're going to be like, really? And I know it's not Metallica. I love
No, no.
Metallica.
Uh-oh.
I love Metallica, but I like old Metallica.
Uh-huh.
The new stuff, I kind of, you know what I mean, give or take. But my favorite all-time is Anthrax.
Okay. Okay. You're
I
you're
love, I
you're
love,
from
and dude, they're
Jersey.
still killing it. Joey's still killing.
Yeah.
His voice is amazing, still, dude.
Yeah. I know I know Danny, so but he's not there anymore. But he's like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
He really is. He's funny. Funny. Uh
Got a
I
favorite '80s
think,
band?
huh?
You got a favorite '80s band?
Like metal?
Yeah.
Do you want a pre-thrash?
Yeah, I guess you would say pre-thrash, like sort of speak.
Like what age is it? Is it like the Iron Maiden Judas Priest age, or is it the between age where you get the Raven, starting of Raven, Anvil, all that type of
Manowar is my favorite.
Manowar?
Yeah,
Manowar's a good
yeah.
band. They are a good band. They're very
Crazy
underrated.
band, but they are good. Joey he's crazy, that guy, but I love those
Yeah.
guys.
They're
Yeah,
a very underrated band. And
yeah.
they were very underrated. Same thing
So
with
was Anvil,
Sabotage.
dude. So was
Huh?
Anvil.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing with Sabotage, very underrated. Heathen was very underrated. Very
Heathen's a good band.
Heathen's they're extremely talented, probably the most talented, and they just didn't get that push that they needed.
All right,
I
so now
mean,
I got a question for you because we're boys. King Diamond or Merciful Fate?
Merciful Fate.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no question about it. He was much better in Merciful Fate. Honestly, I like Abigail, but
That's
after
my
Abigail, I was done. I was done.
really.
I didn't really go into all the other stories as much. And I understand that, but Abigail was something special because it was the first story album. Then
Yeah.
it got old. After
Mhm.
Grandma went to the sanitarium, I was done.
Mhm.
So
There, I mean, like but I mean, like King Diamond's got some good stuff too. I mean, like, but Merciful Fate. I think what like brought them to life was Andy LaRoche.
yeah. He was a pretty special guy
The
too.
reason why I say that is because I'm a Death fan. Remember Individual Thought Patterns? That
Yeah,
record was, oh my God, dude.
yeah,
That was like one of the best
yeah.
records in my. I mean, I know everybody loves Scream Bloody Gore, but Individual Thought Pattern and
No,
Symbolic.
no, yeah. You're absolutely right. I mean, everyone loves Scream Bloody Gore. I mean, that's the first thing. I remember going, oh, whoa. That's all right. I thought I was in your video.
Sorry.
No,
No,
just a
dude, I was
joke.
swiping up. I was swiping up, my brother.
Just, but no, I'm just, what were we talking about?
Death.
Don't mind me. It's one of those days. Uh, but yeah, so, but where were
Were
we
you an
actually?
Autopsy fan too? Were you an
Huh?
Autopsy fan? Autopsy was
I
the
like
fucking.
Autopsy. Yes, I do. I do like Autopsy a lot. They're one of my favorite death metal bands.
Do you see like in like the Demon Christ stuff? I have a lot of the old school flair mixed with new school, and
That's that's the rawness though. That's where the rawness comes out in your music, and that's where I'm drawn to it. I
I'm
was
still
drawn to your
deciding.
music more than others because of that. You know what I
My
mean?
problem right now, and this is where you and Karina are going to come in, is I'm deciding if I want to continue to two tone the guttural and the black high vocals, or if I want to make the main more high and two tone the guttural underneath, like when it comes into the crashing breakdowns. So like I start off very, you know what I mean, and then
Right,
I get into the
right,
with breakdowns.
right,
Like that's what I'm thinking, and that is why when me and her sat and talked, and I said, hey, let's put Stalk the Dead, and then let's put Thorns of Sadistic Intent.
right.
I figured I'd show the color now
Hmm.
so fans can see where I'm going, so they know that they're not going to get smacked in the face if I, put a track out for the next stuff, and they're like,
Like,
why are we doing more of the extreme black metal? But that's just because of me being huge Mayhem, Dark Funeral, like that kind of, and then like Of Sulfur really opened the door. I love their stuff. I mean, the clean stuff they could do without a little bit,
hmm.
but I love the direction that he went with a lot of the stuff. Same thing with the guy from Immortal Disfigurement.
Yeah,
Uh, he's got like, but he's more about the guttural. I mean, I like Lorna Shore and stuff like that too, but I think a lot of that stuff is like I love doing gutturals, but I feel it takes a lot out of you to do a lot of the guttural. So
hmm,
that's why I do a lot of. I know you don't know about vocals, but I do a lot of dump. It's called.
right,
I have a reserve to do that. So when I do it sporadic.
right.
So the higher stuff is easier for me to do, but if I place it correctly, then I'm not. the best part about it is that I quit smoking, so I'm not getting winded mixing all this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm still trying to decide. I mean, a lot of people have come up to me that have heard the record and they're like songs from the record, and they're like, Dave, you're a blackened deathcore band.
Okay.
But see, I just tell everybody that, it's, death metal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be a genre. I'm trying to just, it's death metal. It's,
Well,
it's brutal death metal. That's it.
everybody wants to be that genre now. I mean, there's so many genres in every aspect of music. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. You're
I
you're
just
either
stick to the old school, bro. I stick to the old school and say, hey, what is Demon Christ? Oh, we're brutal death metal.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I don't sit there and go, oh, we're deathcore. Oh, we're this. I want people to listen to it and then form their opinion.
You got to go up. You got to go up to the mic and say, "Hey, I'm Demon Christ, and I play rock and roll," and just and just
Yeah, right.
and have the guitarist hit in the ace of spades. I bet you the crowd would flip on you.
Yeah, right, dude. Dude,
Hey,
I'm telling you, bro.
don't laugh, folks. He's if he does another album with me, the third one's going to be a thrash album he's going to be doing because I'll have him talked
Probably,
into
dude.
it.
Bro, I mean, like, I love thrash too, dude. I get into, like, I love Exodus. I love Creator. Like, I mean, there is some stuff, if you listen really close
Hmm.
with the guitar picking, you'll hear a little bit of the old school thrash in there. But this was the first attempt, but now I'm starting to come into my own and trying to figure out, even with like my cousin John being the producer, me working with Steve Zing from Danzig and Mike LaPon from Symphony X. It's like, hey guys, what do and I look at them as my mentors.
Right.
And it's like, hey, now I'm starting to come into my own and I'm like, okay, what can I do here? What do you think is best? And then when I sat here and I listened, I've had a couple people say, hey, Dave, don't lose your slam. And I'm like, I understand. Don't lose the slam. I still want it because my favorite slam band, Legends. And I'm going to give them a shout out. Chris from Internal Bleeding. That is my all-time favorite slam band. And, that's where I got ideas to do a lot of the slam stuff and everything. But I'm trying to be more where it's more unique.
Hmm.
And
I hear
that's
you.
what I want to do with this. I don't want every record to sound the same. I want it to be different. I want it to bring a different approach.
That's
I'm very
cool.
heavily into Pessimist too. I don't know if you like Pessimist, but
I
I'm very
do.
heavily.
I do. I actually was just listening to him like a couple weeks ago. I listen to so much music anymore. It's like
Yeah,
it's constant. My
yeah.
wife's always saying, "You got your headphones on all the time. You got this on all the time. You're on the computer. You're on the phone. All I hear is music."
All right.
And
So when you listen to Thorns of Sadistic Intent, I'm
mhm.
going to throw something at you, and you're going to go, "No way." Take a guess where I got the idea to talk to my guys to do the music for that. To specifically have that music like that where it's not so crashing and slam and this and that.
Where
And when I throw it at you, you're going to go, are you serious, dude? How the hell did you try to do that? And I think Karina said that I hit it on the nose.
really?
Full Moon by
Uh-huh.
Mayhem, meaning with
Uh-huh.
the vocal style.
Okay. I hear that.
Wretched of the Earth by Pessimist.
Oh, yes, I do hear that. Damn it, I just heard that.
Musically.
I just that's actually I listened to that the other that was the album. Son of a
Remember when he goes in there and he's like, you want that
yes,
guy? That's
yeah.
where I got that whole. And when I wrote my lyrics, I was like, how can I do that but still be the Demon Christ? And the first lyric that came out was the whole deadly.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to do it like that.
Well, then there you go. But see, that's the stuff that creativity. That's the
Yeah,
stuff that excites you,
yeah.
or it just
But I
comes.
wanted something like full moon, freezing moon. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted that because that record from Mayhem was, you can't top that. I
No,
mean,
no, that was
and
that
I
was
mean, God rest
unmatched.
you on Mr. Soul, dude. He said he was going to put a sound together, Norwegian black metal, and he did it. And
It
he is
was
one of the best, dude.
it was it was incredible. Gives you
You know?
chills.
Yes. And then, Varg put out Beruzum, and I mean, like, it was good, but till this day, that album from Mayhem is a staple.
Hmm.
And he is still the pioneer creator, and he's no longer with us. Can
Right.
you imagine if he was still with us? But I'm so glad that they got that new record coming out next month, and I'm stoked.
Yes.
I'm so glad that Necro Butcher and Hellhammer
Finally.
decided to keep. And the new singer, the guy that's been with them for a while, dude, he's very inventive with his vocals.
Yeah.
You
I
know, his
I
look.
like him. I don't mind him. I don't mind him at all.
Yeah,
I think he's very good.
yeah.
I'm not unhappy with the with his vocals at all. But again, I'm not unhappy with the current lineup in Venom Inc. either. With
No, neither am I either. Mm-hmm.
I think Tony and Curran are doing an awesome job.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
agree.
I'm not unhappy with with Mantis and Abaddon reuniting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish Kronos actually
I
reunited
would
with them.
love for Kronos to come back and give us
Hmm.
the real Venom, dude. That'd be sick, dude. I mean, like, there's like so many good, like, people don't see it, dude. Like, Dark Funeral. Like, see, I miss Emperor Magnus Calgula.
Okay.
Like, when he left the band, I mean, I like the new guy a lot. Don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
but I really his persona, his ways.
Hmm.
It's the way you portray yourself on stage, the way that the portrait. That's why, like with, you know, when I shot the video and the ideas for Thorns of Discontent, I wanted it to represent a realism. I didn't want it to come off fake. I didn't want it to come off, with that track. I specifically, and that's why I didn't make it so. I didn't want it. I wanted it crushing and epic, but I didn't want it where it was your typical. Oh, there's slam and there's this, there's that. I'm like, let's just put something together that is still gruesome, brooding, but still give that melodic. Like even with
Right.
the vocals, they're very swoopy, they're very melodic, very, but they're still, um, so to speak, the best way to put it, they're still sadistic.
Yes. Yes. And you can, and I like that you can make out the words still. You know what I
That
mean?
was the hardest part,
That
James, for
that
me.
that's the big part for me is being able to understand. And I'm a very, very easy judge of music. If if I go to something that's so guttural that I can't understand, I take the voice and I use it as an instrument, and I just use it to
There's
go
so
along with
many
the
bands
tune.
out there that are doing that, dude. There's so
Huh?
many bands. There's so
Yeah.
many bands out there that are just. I mean, everybody's doing that.
Well, yeah, I could
And
write
they're
down
doing the fifth
anything and
wheel
just
stuff.
go rah 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 rah, rah and then and say I'm saying it, and there they are. And I didn't say anything, and that's what
It's
it.
like, how can you? Yeah, how can you? And then what they'll, don't get me wrong. It's an art form,
Yeah, it
and I'm
is.
all that, dude. I love bands like that.
I
I
do
love bands
too.
like
I
that.
do too. Werewolf is one of my favorite. They are the most brutal,
They're good.
guttural bands I've ever heard. But you can't understand a word the guy says,
Mhm.
and there
You
you
know,
go.
Steve Green, the owner of Comatose Music,
Hmm.
and the guitarist of Lust for Decay, and he also was the guitarist for Atrocity Abnormality. I know you
Uh-huh.
know who he is. When I sent him the clip of Stalk the Dead, good friend of mine. He's a really sweet person too. And he came back to me and first words out, he goes, "Dude, this is awesome, fucking deathcore."
Okay.
That said something to me. I was like, "Wow, thank you so much." He's like, "No, dude, this is, And then like couple other people gave me some quotes. Um, Zach Moonshine threw something at me. I don't have it in front of me. If I had it in front of me, I'd be able to tell you. He threw something at me. I'm waiting for Chris from Internal Bleeding. He's got the record, and he's like, dude, when I get a moment, Brian, Big Ball Brian from Ossuary Industries, he said he was gonna. I mean, like, I'm going to the people that I respect in the industry
Hmm.
to, because this is gonna fill. This puts it in here. Okay, this is what people are saying, and then I adapt that to my next recordings
Okay.
because I want the knowledge. There's never enough knowledge that you can learn in this genre, specifically of music or any kind of music. You want constructive criticism. You want to be told. But for me, I mean, when I started getting back into this, I mean, like I had one person who was just like, oh, you're subpar. And when I heard that, I was like, yeah, I'm subpar. Okay. Guess what? You have just woken the beast.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
You
now
know?
you're going to see a totally different person.
Yes, yes. And even the Incognito Theory fans are like, dude, this is crazy. But it's like, I'm like, look, I love what I do. I'm an artist. I can do any kind of music, dude. I've been singing for 30 years, dude.
Right.
But I will always be grateful and thankful for extreme metal because that's how I started my career out there playing shows and everything.
Hmm.
And I mean, I only been doing the clean vocal stuff, dude, for like 10 or 15, 12 years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, and I love what I do there, but it's like, you know, where I came from doing this, and it's strange how this happened. I played a club. Do you remember Obsessions?
Yes, I do.
Uh, I played Obsessions. I was playing bass at the time, and
Okay.
our singer got drunk, and he couldn't go on stage and play. He couldn't
Oh.
sing. He drank a bottle of Frangelico, and he could not sing. And I was like, so my guys at the time, I was young, man. I was only like about 17 or 18. They're like, Dave, you're going to sing and play bass. I'm like, I don't have any lyrics. But then I remembered bands like Dying Fetus and this and that and all. And I was like, you know what? Let me just adapt that. So that's how I started doing my low guttural and everything. So I
Yeah,
just went up there, dude, and I'm over. You know what I mean? And like, and these people were like, yeah. And I'm like, okay.
it works. And all because you didn't know the lyrics to the songs that night.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
I actually stripped them, dude. I told the guys just play the songs and I'll figure out where the hell I'm going to put anything. And and I think we were playing with, who did we perform with that night? Oh, Immolation, Ross Starling's
Oh,
band.
yep.
And I'm a huge Immolation fan, dude. And Ross is a sweet
Yeah.
guy too. So,
Yes, he is.
very sweet person. And the band they're still kicking ass. But we got up there, dude, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I'm like, you know what? We'll figure it out.
Hmm.
No big deal. And then that's when I started diving into the black metal like big time, dude. I mean, me and my guitar player at the time, we started painting our face and shit. And,
Right.
and he's still doing music today. Like he's in his 40s and he has his band. So shout out to my good friend Jerry from Locane.
Yep.
And he's still doing what he does. He's the guitarist and vocalist.
Okay.
But we had a band back in the day and it was called Euphoric. And we got up there and my God, dude, I wish I could find those videos. I'm sure my parents have them somewhere. So
Oh no. Oh
yeah.
no, no, let's not have any of that publicity out right now.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't need any of that. So,
You know what, dude? It's all fun, man. But
oh yeah.
but a lot of the old school stuff really paved the way for me. Like it's strange. People, look, Glenn Benton is a Satanist, okay,
Hmm.
but he's a very creative person.
Right.
I'm a Deicide fan.
Yep.
Like, I love the new Deicide record. My favorite Deicide record will always and forever be Serpents of the Light. So I mean, I love that record. I mean, the first album, Deicide, is top notch, but out of all the records, my favorite is Serpents of the Light.
Right. Yeah. And
So
Yeah, Glenn Benton, he is so talented. He really is. He does some good music.
Mhm.
And he's one of the ones that I get frustrated to. Sometimes you can understand him, sometimes you can't. And
Yeah,
it depends.
there's a
And
lot of bands that are like that, dude. Chris Barnes
right.
too.
And he's a Satanist and everything, but what is a Satanist really? It's not really what everyone thinks it is. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's just a different philosophy. It's a philosophy
Case in
that this
point.
is it. This is
Case
it.
in point, brace for the nails, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
What is religion, dude?
Nothing.
It's what you make of it. Look,
Yeah.
I'm Catholic, raised Catholic. I do
Mhm.
believe there's a heaven. I do believe there's a hell. I'm 100% Italian. I'm Sicilian, Barese, and
Mhm.
Napolitan. And I was raised Catholic. And I'm not ashamed of that. And, my family, are they happy with me doing Demon Christ and naming the project Demon Christ? Not
Right.
really. But you know what? It is an art, it's creativity, and it's who I am, and it's a part of me.
Right.
And it's helped me through a lot of battles within myself.
Well, that's what music's supposed to do. It's
Yeah.
supposed to heal.
Yeah. It's helped me
It's
with my
healing.
PTSD. It's helped me with my depression. It's helped me with my anger issues. I have sometimes, and I'm man enough about it. I
Yeah.
have severe anger issues, not to the point of hitting people or anything, but I can tend to get angry, and this extreme metal music, it levels me.
Right. And
So
and, and I see that in a lot of people. A lot of people do turn to the extreme metal music when they need help. It does allow you to express yourself. It does allow you
mhm.
to express opinions that you wouldn't normally express.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's awesome. And see, that's why we're even at Ragebreed, we embrace that and we embrace that in people.
I'm
So
so stoked, man. Like I'm so stoked to release this record and put some merch out for people and which again, I thank you so much that you're willing to help me with that,
yeah,
dude. And it means a
we'll get
lot.
that up. Yep,
You
we'll
know,
get that
I mean,
up soon, folks. Soon. It'll be announced.
oh, I know. Dude, I mean, like it really, this is going to be such a cool, fun thing to do. And we're going to have a great time. And, my next moves will always be where we have our conversations in our group,
Yeah,
me, you, and Karina,
yeah,
where you guys can help me to make
yes.
right decisions. So this is gonna be really cool, man. And I mean, that's what I want to do. And I in my heart, I know for a fact, dude, that this debut is really going to go over well. I think these two songs are really going to set a good staple and pace. Now it's just a question of what goes on the rest of the record. Do all these, dude? I have 45 songs, 45 Demon Christ songs.
S- Already, so and that's not including the ones that we have out.
Not including the ones that you guys have. Those are
So
what I chose for the record.
that's
That's why I
basically
said,
at least 4 albums in an EP if you do 10 songs an album.
yeah. That's why
Well,
I told Karina, I'm like, Karina, what do I do? Should I? She goes, no, put out a full album. She goes, me, you, and James can sit and we'll figure it out together.
mhm,
We already know Stalk the Dead's going on there.
right.
We already know Thorns of Discontent's going on there. We know
Mhm,
Burn It Down's going on. We know Brace for the Nails because Brace for the Nails, everybody's
right.
Clown Behind the Mask has been doing great over at WXAX, thanks to Tracy and Ray.
I like Clown Behind the Mask. And yes, they've been playing that, and that's an awesome song. And shout out to them for that. Great WXAX, New York.
Yeah. And you know who you might like too? I don't know if you met him or spoke to him, Jerry Declet, DJ
Yeah,
JD
yes,
from the
yeah,
Metallica
yeah,
Rave.
yeah.
He's been spinning the hell out of our stuff, dude. And Lady Red, she's awesome too.
Hmm.
She is awesome. Over at Metal Devastation, like I mean, these people have, I've known them a while and I've been working with them and they've been helping out, and I'm really, but the biggest thing for me, what made me make the decision to work with Ragebreed was it's a family, dude. It's
Yeah.
not about this. It's let's work together and you build together.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what we're about. We aren't looking for this. We're
Yeah.
looking to give. We want to help everybody out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So,
dude, we're here for each other, man. And I think this is going to be cool, dude. We got a
absolutely.
lot of cool ideas, man. You and I got a lot of cool ideas, man. I mean, like from talking with you, man. Like when I was sprouting stuff at you for this video, you were like, dude, yeah, how
Yeah.
about this? But
Yeah. Yeah, I can envision that video. That I can envision the whole thing. I can actually envision pins coming at you, and
yeah, I mean, just
I,
trying to do that. Yeah,
I, I'm envisioning, and it's let's go back to 1974.
torture chamber
The
shit.
the eye in in Texas Chainsaw at the end, but
Yeah,
this one is laying down, and you just see it twitching, and just like, oh, it's just like going, oh, here I am getting all like twitchy in the movements and all that because of it. But
you know
yeah,
why I
it's
went with the
just like,
morgue? Yeah, you know why I went with the morgue? True about this, because what do you do when somebody passes? They leave their body.
right.
Okay. And they put him in on this cold slab and they put you in there and you're going to your final resting place. And then they pull you out and they stick these wires in you and they, embalm you and do all this stuff. And I felt with my fiance being a survivor and all these other survivors out there because they're so um, tormented from what has happened to them. I feel that those people that have done that to women need to be uh, eviscerated, so to
Yeah,
speak, and it needs to be done slowly.
yeah,
So that is why, you know, and I say the line in the song. You know, there's a line in the song where it's a call and response, and the person is saying, I can taste the fruits, and I turn around and I go, "Be still." That's me telling the person, "Be still," because guess what? That last pin that you took made you paralyzed.
yes,
Now you're stuck here in fear, and when you die, you're in fear. So
absolutely.
you left in fear. While I was doing this to you, you were in fear, and now you leave the earth in fear.
That's I
I
like
know it's
that.
pretty fucking sick, but
Yeah, it is. It is. I just don't even know where you came up with the concept of pins to paralyze people. That's just, I don't even know who comes up with, it's like one of these things, who comes up with this stuff?
if you use a pin, okay, look,
Yeah,
you use a pin to use thread
right.
to heal up scars and stuff, right?
Hmm.
But what's the one thing that you could pins are so small, they're thin, and you can't see them, right?
Right.
If you per se stick in, my cousin is she worked in the medical field. If you stick something that you can't see and
Right.
it becomes invisible,
Right.
okay, in parts that you know you body parts that make you walk, make you move, and everything, but you can't see it. How do you know the person? How did that person become paralyzed? You don't know what was done to them.
Right. Exactly.
So a pin is invisible.
Oh, wow. Now I gotta think.
James is like, whoa,
Yeah,
okay, dude.
because I remember watching a special on HBO years ago. This is back in the day on the Iceman killer for the mob.
Mhm. Yeah,
And he used to kill with a little hypodermic needle and cyanide. And he used to go through at a dance or whatever, he'd go through, just stick the guy in the back, just hit him, bump into him, stick the guy with the pin. No one would feel it. The
mhm.
cyanide go in, and the guy would drop, and
Yeah,
he'd be gone,
that's it. Yeah,
and no one would know how he died. no one no one would see
You
because
know,
it was a little pin. It was a little needle prick.
remember Strangeland
Yeah.
when
Oh,
when he said, "Try not to speak,
yes.
embrace the spears of Sheba."
Yeah. That
Thorns of significant intent.
that
My own
that
interpretation.
yeah. That was a good movie, and anyone out there who hasn't seen that should really go out and rent that. It's a movie that was way ahead of its time. Dee Schneider from Twisted Sister was absolutely phenomenal in it.
And they didn't give him any gratitude for that. They said it
Now,
was too realistic.
yeah,
But it's a true fact. There's people out there that go on the internet and you don't know who you're talking to.
no, it's true, and you see it all the time. I mean, you see different things on you watch different things on the news, on documentaries, on serial killers.
Yeah.
Some of these people are really whacked, man. Some of the
Yeah.
stuff they do,
Oh, I'm
and
sure
you're
if the
like,
people watch this podcast, they're going to think that I'm a bit of a.
well, people already think that who know me, so
Yeah. Right.
you're in good company, so
Yeah. Yeah.
so
So what
it's
other
it's
questions you got for me? You got anything? You got anything that you missed that you want to know? That anything that I can?
we covered a lot, and when we covered a lot, you touched on a lot of things. I mean, we touched on where we're going to go from here and all that kind of stuff. Live shows coming up. We know we have one possible coming that's not able to be announced yet. That's
Yes.
not, it's in the works.
Yep.
And
Once I have that finalized information, what I can say is that it is called Vengeance Fest 7,
uh-huh.
and it's run by my good friend Kyle Powell, singer of Engorge.
Okay.
And it's KP Production. It's his production company. So Engorge will be on that gig as well. So shout out to Kyle and his crew at
Mhm.
Engorge and KP Productions. So once the information comes, everybody will know and where it's going to be. What I
Okay.
do know, it'll be in New Jersey. So this is going to be real cool, dude. And to have Mike Usifer of Summon the Demons, ex Primeval part of this, dude, this is going to be real cool, man.
Yeah, that is going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be there, so don't
Oh,
worry.
that'll be great, dude. That'll be great.
No,
You'll
I'll be
probably be
there.
rocking your Demon Christ hoodie or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, I'll be there. No, I'll be there in support. Don't worry. You know I will.
Oh,
So
of course, dude. Of course. Of
so
course. But I'm stoked, man. This is going to be great, dude. There's so much coming up the pike,
mhm.
music wise. It's just a question of what's the best. When we get off with this, I'm gonna send you two of the tracks that are complete.
Okay.
Because I just want your opinion because you're my A&R,
Yep.
you're my part of my label.
Yep.
$10 to every dollar, you're going to tell me one of these needs to go on the record. You're going to tell me to remove something. I guarantee. I know you right now, and I know how you're going. I know you're going to, Dave.
What if I like them both?
Well, if you do, then you know what? Hey, you and Karina are the boss, dude.
Yeah. We're gonna have a 40 song record.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
Then you'll
I
have to
think
go back to work again writing.
yeah. This is the easy part, man. Doing lyrics and stuff is always. I mean, I write every day, so I
Yeah.
write every day, so I'm stoked, man. But I mean, I started a couple of things, and I was like, you know what, and I literally just got their HD final, they're done, and I was like, wow. But you could tell the upscale
Hmm.
when you hear these, you'll be able to tell the difference from what you have
Right.
to the upscale of what's going on. So you'll see. And I'm stoked about that. I'm like, oh, this is great. Exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to make the same thing. I wanted to continue to,
Evolve.
yes, and escalate. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked, man.
Yep.
No website yet. No Demon Christ website yet. I have the Instagram. I have a Facebook. I have a what's that other thing that they do?
TikTok.
I don't have a TikTok. There's an what's that other thing that's hooked up to Instagram?
Oh, that. Yeah,
I
Oh,
don't use it all the time, but
I don't even go on it. I have so many, and I apologize to people. I have so much stuff in my notifications. I don't read them all. I have so many friend
Instagram is the
requests.
big
I
deal
don't
now, dude.
respond. So,
I have a band camp that I'm working on, so we'll see how that goes.
okay.
You know,
Yeah. And
but for the most part, if anybody's going to want hard copies, I think we're going to do it like that, where they could just click the link and purchase right there and have it sent right to their home. I think that that'll be the smartest thing, because then you don't have to, you know,
right, right,
make it easy for everybody. I want it to be like a quick, a click and run. Hey, look, you want the record? Boom. You want a vinyl? Boom. Send the cash, and the album gets sent directly to them. Goes right to their house, and it's worldwide.
right. Bandcamp also does it like that, you know.
Yes. Mhm.
But I
I
and
look
I
at these
don't.
vinyls, dude. I look at these vinyls. I wanted to do a vinyl. I was going to do a 10 thing vinyl, limited
Yeah.
edition, and I was going to put the vinyl itself in blood
Were you
where
really?
it moved.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, you know how much? $80 a pop. I'm like, yeah, no.
Really? They wanted eighty
I'd have to
dollars
sell
a
that for
pop.
$100 to make any. I'd have to sell that, but it's too much, dude.
Oh my.
So you just, I'm like, you know what? Old school, vinyl. Give them an
Ah,
old school vinyl, and it'll be cool.
right.
You know.
So,
So I think it'll be cool, dude. I'm thinking with the vinyl, dude, go black metal, like occult, black and white
yes.
for the
Yes.
vinyl, and the CDs in color. That would be
CDs
that would be
have to be
wicked.
in color
Yeah.
because otherwise a black CD is just
Mhm. Yeah, that's
not
what I'm saying.
there.
But like with the vinyl, we can make it real special. And I was like, oh, dude, with the vinyl, we could do like the black and white thing. Maybe put the logo in red or blah 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 blah. Be cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we'll figure it out, dude.
Yeah,
This was
absolutely.
awesome, dude. This was
Yeah,
absolutely
absolutely.
awesome.
I thank you for joining me here. I'm gonna let you go for a minute. I'm gonna stop our recording and then we'll talk 1 second and then I'll let you go, okay? All right.
All right, go ahead, brother.
This is it. Say goodbye to the public and we're gonna get off here and thank you for joining us here on Ragebreed. It'll also be on Pirate Flag Radio, Metal Cross Radio, and WXAX Radio New York. And it'll also be on Tour to Thrash. So, and I'll
Thank you
be
so much, brother.
all right, no problem. And we'll get you going, and you'll see Demon Christ very shortly. All right.
Later, my
Well,
dude.
take care, buddy.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Into the Pit, hosted by Ragin Roacher.